Hi guys, my name is Naomi and I am here to share with you my journey from studying for the NCLEX-PN to writing and subsequently passing the NCLEX-PN. My journey into nursing started in 1999 when as a teenager I felt that the Lord was calling me into the nursing profession. I didn't really know what all that might entail, but I decided I was going to start researching all of the programs in the area. We were living in Canada at the time, and so I looked at every nursing program in the province I lived in and the surrounding provinces, narrowed down my selections, sent out my applications, and then finally found a program and packed my bags and headed out to a dorm to live and work and study and eventually graduate and pass the nursing licensing exam in Canada. I went on to work in an ICU step-down unit, and I also worked then as a manager in a 3-building campus assisted living facility that also had a higher level of care house that was a locked unit, and I was able to then work to gain skills in occupational health and safety and infection control, and got some certifications in that during my time there. I ended up getting married and moving back to be closer to my family here in the US, and that began a really challenging, troubled time in my life where things were hard and life was not easy, and there was this general understanding that maybe me getting my license right away would not be beneficial for our family. And so, trying to be respectful of that desire, I didn't apply for my license when we first moved here. The unfortunate thing is that my license in Canada lapsed, and I couldn't renew it because I didn't have a Canadian address, and I didn't have practice hours in Canada. And so when that license lapsed and I hadn't applied for a new license here, I found myself in this no man's land where I really didn't have a license anywhere, and reciprocity with a current license was unattainable. And so when I ended up finding myself as a single mom many years later, I realized I needed a way to support my kids and to pay my bills, and out from underneath of some of those desires of another person, I began petitioning to the New York State Board of Nursing, going to colleges in the area who told me, your credits are greater than 10 years old, and so we can't accept them. I would essentially have to go back to high school to obtain high school level math and science and English credits, or equivalent in a collegiate level, to then be qualified to take my prereqs for a degree I already had to do a profession I had already done. And I was frustrated and devastated. And so when the pandemic hit, I felt like maybe this was my chance. And so I continued to petition to the Board of Nursing, and I got a letter back saying if I wanted to, I could challenge the NCLEX-PN, which means I could sit and write the NCLEX-PN without having to take the practical nursing program over again, because they felt like my program I had taken in Canada prepared me adequately for that. So I set out to study for the NCLEX-PN. And I said, okay, I'm a single mom. I'm going to do this on the cheap. I've already taken a lot of, I already know what I'm doing. And I was like, between YouTube and other resources online, I'm sure I can do this. Guess what I found out? Most of the study tips, most of the study channels, most of the books, most of the free downloads, they're geared towards RNs. How is that fair? The practical nurses are still writing an NCLEX, and they need to have resources too. And so, frustrated with the resources I could find, I registered for the NCLEX-PN study course. I chose the 3-week version, and I did that 3 weeks before my NCLEX. I don't suggest you cram that close. I had tried to use a Saunders book and some flashcards and some downloads, but I couldn't seem to make it work. And so I got the 3-week NCLEX-PN study course, worked through as many questions as I possibly could, and then I sat for my NCLEX-PN, and after 40 minutes, the computer shut off. I was at 87 questions and 43 minutes in, and the computer shut off. And I was like, oh no, what does this mean? And so I went home and I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it until I find out my results. But I was like, I've probably failed. And so I did the Pearson VUE trick, which showed positive that I had probably passed, which we'll get into the Pearson VUE trick in another video. But I did the Pearson VUE trick, and it showed up the positive, you've probably passed result. And then I paid for my quick results, and I had in fact passed. And so there was much celebration because studying for the NCLEX-PN was consuming my life, and I was ready for it to be over. And as I look back on my time studying, I realized I need to give practical nurses resources that are going to be helpful for them, that are geared towards them and their profession and their exam. It's not fair to be using study tips for an RN exam when you're not going to be writing the RN exam. We need tailored information for us, for our exam, that are specific to our profession, to our job, to our role, to our scope. And so over the next couple of months, I'm going to be pushing out some videos on study tips, on the Pearson VUE trick, on the NCLEX-PN format, some study habits that might be helpful, some of the things that I feel I wish I had studied, and some of the things I feel like I spent way too much time on, which again is going to be dependent on the test that you have. And one thing that I can't do is give specific information about the questions that I saw, or the information that was there, or the content, but I can give some general ideas and some general study tips. And I'm going to go through and do some videos on some of those topics and do some review, and hopefully help you guys feel more confident and more ready. But then you'll also see probably some day in a life videos of me going to work, and we'll do some Q&As and that sort of thing. So I'm excited to be on this journey with you. And if you're here, you're probably getting ready to write your NCLEX-PN, or you're a nursing student, or you're a hopeful PN student. And so welcome. And I just want to encourage you that this is definitely a worthwhile endeavor, and I can't wait to take this journey with you. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.